The old limb cracks first. It happens before the predator moves, before the prey understands it has made a mistake. A faceless alien body stands in the cold center of a rotating gravity chamber, its sealed head tilted toward nothing, its ring-marked torso crossed by curved bands of white light. One limb is swollen and translucent, folded young beneath wet skin. One limb is thick, dark, and adult, planted hard against the tilted circular floor. The third limb is ancient, black, raised and splitting open. Across the chamber, a small juvenile prey form stops. It should keep moving, the exit seam is still ahead. Its body is low, narrow and unfinished, about 1/4 the predator's height, but it sees the cracked limb lifted high, sees pale dust beginning to fall from the broken surface and misreads the sight as weakness. The predator looks damaged. The predator looks unstable. The predator looks like it is losing part of itself. That is true, that is also the weapon. The chamber rotates a few degrees, the floor line slants, cold white light slides over the predator's sealed torso and the circular growth rings pulse once then again. Like living age moving through the body, the cracked ancient limb trembles, a thin stream of pale nerve, dust shakes loose and drifts toward the floor. The dust does not fall normally. The gravity chamber turns, the dust moves sideways across the air, then curls upward along the tilted chamber wall. The juvenile prey hesitates for a fraction too long. It steps toward the seam. One dust grain touches its outer surface. The prey freezes. Not completely. That would be too simple. Its forward motion becomes late. The front part of its body keeps trying to cross the floor seam, but the rear part answers after the moment has already passed. Its balance breaks, its escape becomes a series of unfinished gestures. The old limb splits wider. A larger cloud of pale dust bursts from the joint, not like smoke, not like ash, but like powdered nerve tissue. It carries the predator's spent biological time. The ancient limb is dying into the room, and the room is turning that death into a trap. The predator still does not chase. Its heavy adult limb crushes into the tilted floor, holding the body upright as the chamber rotates. Its newborn limb begins to swell. Under translucent skin, soft tissue thickens in visible pulses. The old limb is being sacrificed, and the youngest limb is growing to replace it. This species does not age as one body. Each limb carries a different biological time. One limb must remain young, one must remain adult, one must become ancient. If two limbs reach the same age, the whole body locks and cannot hunt. So the predator turns age into sequence. It keeps time in body parts. The juvenile prey tries to move again. The dust has already reached its lower side. The chamber turns and the dust rises instead of falling. It coats the prey from below. The prey's next step begins, then arrives too late to matter. Its body leans toward escape while another section is still trapped in the previous motion. The more it struggles, the more visible the delay becomes. The ancient limb breaks at the joint. Blast fills the chamber with pale nerve. Dust. The old limb is no longer a limb, it is a field. The dust expands across the tilted floor lines and around the prey, making the direction of danger readable in the air. The juvenile had stepped closer because it saw a wound. Now the wound has become the attack. The newborn limb pushes harder beneath its skin. Its glass, soft surface thickens. Wet plates begin to form in slow bands. The predator's torso rings brighten and travel toward the young side of the body. Growth is not gentle here. Growth is a countdown. While the prey slows, the young limb matures. The rotating chamber shifts again. The dust lifts in a pale spiral for a moment. The prey's coated side seems lighter. It almost moves. Then the spiral wraps around it and settles more heavily than before. The escape posture collapses into delay. One part of the prey turns back toward the predator. Another part still points toward the seam. It becomes trapped between two decisions its body can no longer complete. The predator finally advances. It moves badly, unevenly, with one adult limb, one newly swelling limb, and one ruined stump where the ancient limb used to be. But speed no longer matters. The dust has already won the distance. The prey is suspended inside the predator's discarded age. The young limb unfolds. It touches the floor for the first time. It trembles under partial weight. The adult limb strains beside it, and fine age lines begin to appear along the adult surface. The clock is shifting. The newborn limb becomes adult. The adult limb begins its path toward ancient. The spent old stump seals with pale residue. Nothing regenerates. The cost stays visible. The predator has not healed the ancient limb. It has traded it. The broken limb is gone, reduced to dust on the prey and floor, somewhere inside the sealed torso. The ring bands slow, then reset into a new rhythm. The body has survived the hunt by moving age from one limb stage to another. The juvenile prey is fully coated now. It remains upright in an unfinished escape. Its small body is frozen not by ice, but by delayed motion. The dust holds the sequence open: step, turn, recoil, stop. All of them remain visible at once. The chamber rotation slows. Curved shadow bands stretch over the predator's body. The new adult limb plants firmly. The aging limb darkens behind it. The old stump no longer sheds dust. The predator's body is still asymmetrical, still costly, still incomplete, but the limb clock has reset. Broken limb was not weakness, it was the lure. The old age was not failure, it was ammunition. In the final image, the faceless predator stands over the dust, frozen prey inside the tilted gravity chamber. One ancient limb is missing, spent into pale residue. One limb is newly hardened, clean and strong, carrying the body like the next clock hand. One aging limb waits behind it, dark cracks beginning to spread. The prey remains half-turned toward the exit. It will never finish the motion. The chamber light rotates once more. Pale dust slides into a crescent around both bodies. Beneath the predator's sealed torso, something soft begins to pulse again. A new young limb is starting. The next weapon is already growing.